Hey, yo, welcome back to another Four Train podcast. I'm here, Israel Navarro, and Anzo from Anzo channel is also here as well. We're going to talk about the blockbuster trade that just happened on Sunday night, where the Yankees traded Gary Sanchez and Gio Urshela to the Minnesota Twins so we can get IKF, as I'm going to call him, Josh Donaldson, as well as Band Rotvet. I've hardly heard of him, so that's why I'm mispronouncing his name. But we got him in the trade. This is very exciting because, we thought the Yankees weren't going to do anything. But just 12 hours before the trade hit, we had Aaron Boone say Gio Urshela is going to be our shortstop. He said it like it was set in stone, and that was going to happen. No question. We were going to have Gary Sanchez, and all of a sudden, boom, that trade happened. So I was surprised. I was already in bed, and I was like, wait, what? What just happened? Like, the Yankees did what? And it's crazy. Because on the aspect, if you look at Gary Sanchez, he is a homegrown talent. And to see him part ways before he entered free agency says a lot of what the Yankees are looking to do, especially coming into spring training, as well as still in what is still in a lot of negotiating out there for players. So I don't know how you feel about this, Anthony.
Yeah, Israel. When I heard about the news, actually, I was just like, damn it, this wasn't what I wanted. It's like these three guys, right? One is an unknown catcher. Let's see what happens with him. And then you got Donaldson, 36 years old, and then you got the IKF guy, decent glove. He provides a lot of contact. Like a 36-year-old Josh Donaldson doesn't do it for me. IKF is decent. I mean, you got a glove and you got more contact of a hitter, and then just a random catcher. So I'm not like impressed by this unless it's a bigger move. Unless we're gonna get Sean Murphy, Sean Manaea, and we're gonna trade Donaldson and then we'll do something like that. But really, for me, I'm like kind of disappointed by this.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and listening to Michael Kay, one of the things that Donaldson is going to do is he's going to bring a whole different edge that the Yankees haven't had. Not knocking, I'm not saying that we have to have a toxic work environment. That's not what I'm trying to promote. But the way he views baseball, the way he wants to win, is going to be very different. We saw it how even before he was a Yankee, how he rubbed Gary Cole wrong. Obviously, it's just been announced that they both put their bygones aside. They're focused on winning the 28th World Series. But here's the very interesting thing. With this trade, just with Josh and IKF, we just have improved our defense. So that is the plus side. But now here's the thing. While the Yankees lineup is now more depth into being a right-handed hitter, it's a more extreme in that direction and everything. Now the question is, what are we going to do to balance this out? We lost Matt Olson. This is kind of proving that the Yankees are not going to go after Carlos Correa and they're not going to go after Trevor Story. That means they're betting on Anthony Volpe or some other prospect in the shortstop system. So the question is, what is it going to make it work? Are they going to bring back an Anthony Rizzo for a 2-year kind of deal? Are we going to have a healthy Luke Voigt? It's very weird to say who actually won this trade because no game has been played. So we don't know how Josh Donaldson is going to play. We don't know how IKF is going to play. We don't even know what's going to happen to Gary Sanchez and Gio Urshela now that they're on the Minnesota Twins. Are they going to improve because they're not under the pressure of New York media, being the pressure of New York Yankee fans? Because something I got to say to some of the Yankee fans here. Yes, I'll be the first. I did criticize Gary Sanchez's defense because it's been on the decline, but offensively he was solid. I will not take that away from him. For a catcher, he was probably one of the best hitters out there for a catcher. But defensively, he's been on a decline, and we know last year that was a big issue between him and Aaron Boone. And on top of that, the comments affected him not only professionally, but starting to affect him emotionally. So now that he gone to the Minnesota Twins, might be a better place where he's not under so much pressure, and he might actually blossom again to the way he was in 2019, 2017, and 2016. So what do you see coming out of Gary Sanchez, considering that's who we know better?
Yeah, Gary, I feel like, I mean, I've been saying that Gary isn't that good. Like you said, I mean, obviously he's like a good hitter when it comes to the catchers. but defensively he killed us. Like, we lost a bunch of games, and that could have been the difference of the Yankees having home field advantage against the Red Sox towards the end, right? And so I think Gary definitely, I feel like any player that goes from New York to kind of like a low market team or a place that's not New York or not Boston or not the Dodgers or any like huge city, the pressure's off, and so they can possibly just feel like a weight is lifted and they can actually like perform and actually do stuff. I think Cashman even said, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Gary actually starts performing even better to the all-star level. And so, yeah, I mean, no one doubts the guy, but did we want to keep him? I mean, I didn't want to keep him, but in this trade, it's horrible. Like, I wouldn't have done it this way, but yeah, I mean, did we need to get rid of him? Yes. And so we did. But how did you feel about GIO? Did you ever actually like GIO, Israel, or what, was he just more of like a side piece?
Well, exciting thing. In December we actually published a video saying that Gio Urshela was going to be our shortstop. We got to prepare for them not signing at the time, not signing Carlos Correa. Now we know that's most likely going to happen. That they're not going to sign Carlos Correa. But the guy's a natural third baseman. That's his natural position. And pushing him into the shortstop position, he didn't transition too well. Yes, he did give us at times some few plays like Derek Jeter diving into the stands. Yes, he hit a home run. Yeah, he was a great hitter and all this stuff, but he wasn't. I was even just like last week starting to think like he was going to get traded, and even put Gleyber Torres. I'm going to put him on this comment saying that both of them were going to get traded because last year was not too solid for them, and I wasn't expecting Gio to go this year. I was expecting more like Torres or Luke Boyd, but to see him step away. Yeah, it is sad. The guy was starting to become loved in New York. His smile was classic. The guy was even looking to start his family here in New York. But now it seems that he's moved away. Now, obviously, the Yankees picked a solid defender. Yeah, he's not so great offensively, but at IKF, obviously, he's a lot better defensively than Gio. And Gio was struggling defensively for us. And that's the reason why everyone started talking about the need to having a shortstop because of how he was struggling. Now, I do feel like if, Minnesota uses him, but put him back in his position where he was third base, I think he'll be more comfortable. I'm not going to say he's going to win a Golden Glove because now he's on the Minnesota Twins, but I feel like he's going to improve. That is what we're going to see out of him, defensively or even offensively. We don't know yet what's going to happen because now he's in a new system. But I wish nothing but the best for Gio.
Yeah, no, I think Gio was definitely a guy that came out of nowhere and made the most of being in New York. He came out of nowhere and actually proved himself that he could play. And yeah, the dude's solid, but definitely he's not the future of the Yankees. And so definitely I would have traded him as well. I mean, I would trade Gleyber as well. I mean, it's like all these pieces I would trade. I would trade Donaldson. I would trade him again. I mean, Cashman said that, it gives us the edge. I think you were saying that, right? It gives us like an edge or something now that we have Donaldson. But yeah, the dude, I mean, that's not the edge we need. The edge we need is a Correa. It's a guy that's even more like that's going to stick around for a longer time, not a guy that's for 2 years, or we'll probably trade him next year because he's going to be $25 million. That's a good amount of money. Not even Rizzo's asking for that. So, I mean, does the guy perform? Yes, he performed really well, but his health is an issue. If he can stay on the field, then he can perform. But if he can't stay on the field, then I think we got a bust here. And so let's see how it plays out. Hopefully, Cashman, this isn't the last, trades that he's doing, and that he's going to surprise us with another addition or a first baseman, or hopefully maybe even a shortstop. Let's move the infield around and let's see what we can do. Trade Gleyber. Let's get a real catcher. And then we have our infield set. So I don't know, any closing statements from you, Israel, about this huge trade that everyone's talking about right now?
Well, here's my. I'm gonna say this. Now I understand everyone's talking about Aaron Judge contract extension. One, that's not gonna happen. he's going to have to play an MVP caliber season, prove that he's healthy for the Yankees to actually go into the negotiation table with him on that aspect. So Aaron Judge is going to have to improve himself. The other thing I'm going to say, it's going to be worthwhile, and I kind of agree, if the Yankees go and get a first baseman, a solid first baseman, even a left-handed first baseman. I think that would be a great fit, especially in the batting lineup, as well as even in defensive wise, having a left-handed person in the lineup does help out a lot. Now, I will close this, guys. Yeah, as what I see, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to predict this. Donaldson, I feel like he's going to get traded again. I don't know if it's this year or coming into next year, and we're going to push IKF back to third base, which is his also natural position, but he's been able to, obviously, he's been solid as a shortstop, so that's why everyone was shocked when Corey Seager got signed to the Rangers, because they were like, wait, why did they sign this guy? They didn't need a shortstop. So that's it. But what you're seeing is this is just the prediction is preparing to bring up Anthony Volpe. I feel like they have a very strong view on him. They want him as shortstop. I don't think he's ready for the season. I think that he should sit out this season. Let him play minor league ball. Let him see at first if he can hit well in minor league, and then bring him up, because I feel like that's the direction they're going with. And we need to obviously tighten up the bullpen and get more solid pitching, because our neighbors in Queens, they got the bullpen locked. Now it's our turn to do the same here in the Bronx.
Yeah, I mean, that could be a possibility. Donaldson could get traded. I feel like he gets traded around a lot, but he could be traded. I mean, $25 million is a good amount of money for him. And yeah, maybe the other dude can go to third base, play his natural position, and then, then from there we get another shortstop, or just wait it out and get Volpe, and hopefully he ends up turning out to be a solid player. A lot of these prospects end up being bust, but hopefully it could be some magic in a bottle, and we get another Derek Jeter, or just even half of a Derek Jeter, and have someone really, really solid. So,
well, I wouldn't want another Derek Jeter. I would just want a shortstop that is going to be solid for us defending.
Like a Carlos Correa. Like, just let's get...
Even when Didi was still with us, he was solid defending shortstop.
Yeah, I mean, another A-Rod, let's say.
Yeah, another A-Rod would be a perfect... I would take another A-Rod.
Just a stud.
Because A-Rod was the best shortstop before going to be third base, and then he became one of the best third basemen in Yankees history. So if we can get somebody that can fit that mold, I will be happy with it, 100%.
Yeah, and then a Bernie Williams with Jason Dominguez.
Exactly, and the outfield, because I feel like that could be a fun video another day, talking about the impact Bernie Williams truly had as a New York Yankee.
Nice. Yeah, no, that sounds like an interesting topic. But yeah, I guess that this will wrap it up. Big blockbuster trade. Definitely baseball is actually back, right? I don't think the last time we talked, baseball wasn't back, so it's back. So make sure to use SeatGeek and use our code ANZO, ANZO, to get $20 off now that there's live events like sporting events. So make sure to go out there and get that. Make sure to follow us. My Instagram and Twitter is Anzo Media. And Israel, what you got?
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter right there. My Twitter handler is on the screen. And as well as Instagram, you can follow me there. And you guys can always feel free to give us any question, comments you feel, and we can discuss them here on the Ford Train Podcast.
Awesome. Yes. And make sure to smash the like button. Make sure to comment down below. Let us know what you think about this blockbuster trade. Are you like on the same page with me? You hate it, you don't like it, or are you like Israel? Do you actually like see where Cashman is thinking and maybe see a potential possible trade, and Cashman is a genius and it could be something better? Let us know what you guys think down below. As always, thank you for watching. We appreciate it. And make sure to hit that subscribe button as we come out with weekly baseball and Yankees content. So stick around. And this was Anzo. That was Israel. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
See ya.